One that is not only a go-getter, but a team player who's eager to be part of a successful, supportive team. If you're ready to make an impact with the businesses we work with, we want to hear from you. Apply today at Layton.media and become part of a team that values community, integrity, and growth. That's Layton.media to apply. Your success starts here.
KBRFradio.com news. Get the news that matters delivered straight to your inbox. With KBRF Daily Headlines, you'll stay up to date on everything happening in your community. Sign up today and receive a roundup of the day's top stories all in one email. It's fast, convenient, and it's always free. From local updates to breaking news, KBRF brings you the headlines you need right at your fingertips. Visit KBRFradio.com and sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Tuesday morning. It is, 10 after 9. Another beautiful fall day.
It is a little fall-ish feeling, but it's just absolutely beautiful out there.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yesterday, I think that was kind of a day that everyone would like. Really no wind to speak of, and sunny and, kind of okay warm.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful evening when I guess my benchmark is when I get home to the lake, can I comfortably sit on the patio or the dock? And I could have done either of those things, both of which we did, actually, because it just was so nice.
Yeah.
And these are days I think that everybody loves. Looks like temperature-wise, kind of going to be the same thing for the rest of the week and into the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to be kind of in a holding pattern.
Right. Could see some, potentially some scattered showers over the weekend. But other than that, long holiday weekend, not looking bad. 70s.
Long holiday weekend. We've got to have a storm somewhere.
I suppose. But, as we creep into September, the chance... And I probably shouldn't even say this out loud, but this is pretty typical, I think, on our calendar, that the chance of severe weather goes down as we go into autumn.
Yeah, because we don't have the heat. We don't have what can generate that storm.
Right, exactly. So taking a look ahead at the next 10-day forecast, looks pretty steady in the middle, maybe some upper 70s, but temperature-wise, looks like it's going to be really nice for the next 10 days. So
kind of holding at the mid-70s level.
Yeah, we'll take that. I just can't believe we're talking about Labor Day weekend. If you had to ask me what my least favorite holiday of the year is, it is Labor Day. I hate Labor Day.
I'd have to pick something like President's Day or something where we don't get the day off.
Oh, no, I like those days. Well, but I guess you and I don't get those Mondays off, but it's such a depressing weekend when, we see a lot of people around the lake start pulling their stuff out of the water, and we refer to them as quitters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, we lovingly refer to them as quitters. I know that some people, based on what they do and where they live, they just don't get back after Labor Day, so it makes sense. But for me, that stays till the last possible moment. I just hate to think of the summer coming to an end. And once I give way to that, autumn, is absolutely beautiful around here. That's when I start doing all my bike riding, is now in September, is just beautiful, beautiful bike riding weather. And if you like to play golf, I think fall golf is the nicest.
Oh, yeah. Everything looks like your ball.
Yeah, right. Quick in September before all the leaves fall. That is like the nicest golf. Or if you just want to, get out there, go for a walk around Lake Alice, or if you're not that energetic, even just to sit on your patio or your deck or front step,
Central Lake Trail.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. It's interesting when you talk about the Central Lakes Trail, the trails that are all around Maplewood area near Pelican. I see almost as many walkers and joggers as I do bikers.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't tell you how many. I know that was a little bit of a controversial kind of thing.
Wasn't a little
Yeah,
bit.
it was
very.
huge when they were putting those in. People were mad as can be. And I hope those same people are seeing how well used those trails are, because you can't drive anywhere next to those trails and not see somebody biking, walking, jogging, something. I even saw a golf cart out on one this last weekend.
Oh, you're not supposed to have that on?
Well, they can do that if it's battery operated, so it's not motorized. So is that legal? It says no motorized vehicles, but if you've got a battery operated golf cart, is that legal?
No, because it's a motorized vehicle. It's not a combustion engine,
I
but
suppose
it is a motor.
It is a motor. It's just
If you wanna
fueled by battery.
If you want to get technical, the
I
electric
suppose.
ones are motors. The
I
gas ones
suppose.
are engines.
Okay, so that doesn't work either. I
No.
did see that out on the trail, and I don't think a golf cart is going to hurt anything.
No.
But anyway, they say no motorized vehicles. I suppose in an e-bike, is that a motor?
Well, technically, you can pedal it. I mean, you're not pedaling a
golf
cart unless,
Yeah, I
you're
guess.
Flintstones.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I hope that those who were in severe opposition now see that it draws people from all over the
yeah.
place. I see people parking like at Pelican at the football field. They park there, and now they have dedicated parking for bikers. And I see license plates from all over the place. So I think it's just a real draw for people to come to this area. And there's these bike trails everywhere.
Yeah.
And, think how far you can go on the Central Lakes Trail. Can you ride I think you can ride to St. Cloud.
Yeah, I think
And
you can
maybe beyond
You
even.
can go to St. Cloud, and then I think you can hook up on another trail to get you down the cities.
Okay. Well, I know you can go a very long way on these trails. I think I've made it as far as Ashby, and that's about as far as I've gone.
I've made it as far as Dalton.
Yeah. But you know what? Fergus to Dalton is the most beautiful ride
it's
on that
gorgeous.
trail. Absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, I look forward to this time of year once I can let go of the fact that the kids are back in school and we're back to fall, but then I get to bike ride. So I guess bike riding then is my secondary happy place after being at the lake. So anyway, this is not my favorite weekend, but it is a holiday weekend and most people get Monday off. So that's good for something, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. This is really interesting, and we see this over and over with Republicans versus Democrats. The Democrats now are screaming and shouting about all these things that if you look back in history, and not
They
so
did.
very far back, they were doing those things. Same thing with all this redistricting. They get absolutely crazy about what's going on in Texas, when in Illinois they keep doing it over and over and have for years and years and years.
Yeah.
They've been redistricting, and so but here's just another one of those things. So President Trump wants to drive down crime in some of our most dangerous cities. Democrats, of course, are furious. They're really coming down hard once again on the wrong side of an issue that affects millions of Americans. So you ask the question, why would the leaders of these high crime cities like Washington and Chicago, why would they object to a president trying to help make their streets safer?
Because they don't want the opposition party succeeding where they failed.
Yeah, exactly. They are panicked that Trump will succeed. That is just how it goes. And it will expose them as inept, corrupt leaders, as they truly are. For decades, Democrats have struggled to overcome GOP accusations that they were soft on crime. They've been, the GOP has been going after them for years. In 1994, here's the history. To combat that charge, President then Bill Clinton signed into law the most sweeping anti-crime bill in history. It funded the hiring of 100,000 new police officers.
Nice.
Authorized the construction of new prisons and introduced that 3 strikes law mandating lengthy jail terms for repeat offenders. Okay, Democrats, that was your guy. He was your leader. That was your deal. And that was back in 1994. So now pages have flipped and you are screaming out loud about a president who wants to do what your then president did in 1994.
Yep.
So why is that different today?
Because they don't want the opposition parties
To succeed. Yeah. So, well, there you go. That's, anyway. He kind of, Trump is kind of pranking the Democrats into coming out and opposing something that they've really always claimed to support.
Well, they always
Until recently.
claim to support. But
Oh, gosh. Well, anyway.
I guarantee you there weren't a lot of Republicans signing the line of defund the police.
Yeah, exactly. Parents in Illinois are enraged about a new law signed by Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker. He is a real knucklehead. Anyway, he's extended student financial aid eligibility to, you guessed it, illegal aliens. In an interview with Fox News Digital, Michelle Cunney, an Illinois mother and local parents' rights in education chapter leader, called the new law a nightmare. To be honest, she said, it's terrifying that not only are we having to pay for this, as you know, tax-paying citizens, but also as parents, not knowing how it will really truly end up affecting our kids and their education. Because I'm guessing there will be fewer dollars to go around with this. Anyway, she said under this new leadership, we know that the children who were not here legally will get more of a chance and an opportunity to get scholarships and everything that our kids, because of this guy, and so many others, that we are just really not important to them. We are not anything other than money. Well, it all comes down to we got to make sure, or they have to make sure, that these illegals can stay in the country, because these could be potential voters. They could be people that will cause redistricting. Mm-hmm. And that is the reason that they're working so hard to keep these people in our country. Unbelievable. Anyway, okay. President Trump and his administration plans to sue California Governor Newsom's move to redraw a Democratic-leaning congressional map, even as Trump celebrated the passage similar redistricting effort in Texas that benefits Republicans. Newsom, a presumptive 2028 presidential contender, do you really think?
Oh, he's running. Guarantee
Anyway,
it.
of course, he promptly responded to Trump's comment on social media, telling him to, quote, bring it, unquote. What do you think? I mean,
I hate politics.
well, you know what? But do we have to consider that all the people, I mean, they've had a major exodus out of California.
Yep.
So are we to assume that there are a lot of people in that state who don't love Gavin Newsom?
Well, the ones that stayed love him.
But the ones that left would have to vote for him if he was running for president.
Yeah, but it's usually, from what I've heard, it's the more conservative Californians who are leaving.
Yeah,
So-
but right, I suppose. But I bet they weren't all conservatives.
No.
It's just like, they say you don't bring the National Guard into our city. Our crime rates are down. Well, what's down? You only 200 murders so far this year rather than 300? Gee, great. I mean,
Talk to the families of those 200.
absolutely. And there's so many families. We hear from the politicians that we don't need this. Really? Is that how the people of Chicago as a whole really feel? Or the people of Washington, D.C.? It's made a difference.
Yeah.
In what has it been, 10 days or something that the National Guard has been on the ground?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they going to stay, or is this done? Are they?
I don't know.
He wants to move them someplace else, but as you mentioned yesterday, they have to have an invitation from these blue cities, which of course will never happen.
Come. Because,
Yeah.
again, we can't show off that our failed policy.
Right. And of course, our esteemed governor of Minnesota has said now, I will announce soon whether or not I'm going to run again for governor. Well, of course he is.
Yeah, he said he'd do it after the state fair, and the state fair wraps up this weekend. So.
Right. And, but then this story is so, the people that are for him are going to be against police. They're going to be, against redistricting. They're going to be against illegal people living in our state and in our country. But the opposition is going to speak pretty loudly, too, after uncovering all that fraud on our governor while running for vice president. I think he made kind of a knucklehead of himself while he was...
Oh, he even called himself a knucklehead.
Yeah, he did. A self-proclaimed knucklehead. And I wonder if he still has all those flannel shirts he had to buy new to appear to be a real gung-ho Minnesota guy.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm from up north.
I'm from up north with the rocks and cows. He will never be forgiven for that, just saying. All right, coming up on 9:30, break for the markets. We're back with more on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Summer weather can change quickly, and that's why you can count on News Talk 1250 KBRF and the Fergus Now app for up-to-date weather coverage. We love hearing from you and want to see your severe weather photos, whether it's hail, storm damage, threatening clouds, whatever it might be. To submit your summer severe weather photos, go to kbrfradio.com, then to Weather Spotter page located on the Weather tab. Summer severe weather coverage on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Layton Media has an amazing opportunity to add a media consultant to our Fergus Falls team. If you have energy, integrity, and a passion to talk to people, you might be the perfect fit. We want someone that is not only a go-getter, but a team player who's eager to be part of a successful, supportive team. If you're ready to make an impact with the businesses we work with, we want to hear from you. Apply today at layton.media and become part of a team that values community, integrity, and growth. That's layton.media to apply. Your success starts here.
Hey, Twins territory, it's Chris Atterbury. Join me alongside Glenn Perkins as the Minnesota Twins tangle with the Toronto Blue Jays in the middle game of a 3-game series. Jays are the best team in baseball at home as they send Chris Bassett to the mound at the Twins counter with Bailey over. Twins bats trying to get going. See if Matt Wallner can build on a 2-homer day yesterday. Join us, 5:30 lineup card, 6:07. Your first pitch tonight right here on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
KBRFradio.com news. Get the news that matters delivered straight to your inbox. With KBRF Daily Headlines, you'll stay up to date on everything happening in your community. Sign up today and receive a roundup of the day's top stories all in one email. It's fast, convenient, and it's always free. From local updates to breaking news, KBRF brings you the headlines you need right at your fingertips. Visit KBRFradio.com and sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.
Local farmers. Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company in Fergus Falls currently has open slots and accepting animals. They take the hassle out of processing and butchering your livestock. From custom cuts to expert butchering, they handle it all with care and precision. Serving Fergus Falls of the Lakes area, they're proud to support local farmers like you. Call or visit Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company today to schedule your meat processing. Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company, where quality meets tradition, on Highway 210 East.
Are you or any of your loved ones impacted by hearing loss? Do you have ideas on how the state can improve access to language, education, healthcare, employment, and more? We want your ideas. Visit mn.gov/deaf-commission to take the survey. Paid for by the Minnesota Commission of the Deaf, Deafblind, and Hard of Hearing. Aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
What does life on the cutting edge mean to Riley LaPinka? making hay has changed so much now with Harvextra alfalfa. You don't have to be tied down to a certain cutting window. That saves us a lot of headache, a lot of cost, wear and tear on machinery, you name it. It just cuts all that down.
Harvextra alfalfa with Roundup Ready technology gives you an extra edge when it comes to cutting flexibility. Hear more of Riley's story at harvextra.com.
Get the latest in ag information and market updates with the Red River Farm Network. Monday through Friday, News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
Good morning. I'm Jamie Dickerman with a market update here on the Red River Farm Network. Grain markets starting off in negative territory today. Abbott futures analyst Preston Zacharias thinks there could be a potential weather risk for these markets.
You know, there's a few things that could eventually get this market going, and I think they have to be weather-based, at least in the corn. And, we're looking at from August 1st to now, there are many counties in Missouri, southern Iowa, Illinois, et cetera, that are, ranking the driest in 132 years. So those things, it's cool, though, too, right? So you don't have the evapotranspiration problem. But you would think that the market would start paying attention to some of those and coming across some chatter of early frost. When you have weather this chilly in the middle of August, you can have weather this far below normal in September as well, and that gets you into freeze categories. So I still think there's some weather risk to these markets.
Livestock mainly continuing in its same pattern.
I wish I was a farmer who hadn't been paying attention and had some livestock, and now is the time to hedge that stuff. You've got cheap meal, cheap corn, cheap everything on the input side, and relatively high hogs, and extremely high cattle prices. So, it really looks like a good opportunity for the guys who have the animals to lock in those hedges and turn this thing into a manufacturing plant instead of a speculative trade.
Abbott futures market analyst Preston Zacharias. Dow Jones is down a couple points now at 45,279. Crude oil down 71 cents, 64.09 a barrel. This is the Red River Farm Network.
SRS Commodities was founded over 30 years ago by a small group of farmers who wanted to add value to their dry bean production. It was their goal to provide the best quality dry beans direct from the field to the end user at a competitive and fair price. That commitment is still with us today. SRS Commodities, with facilities in Mayville, Washburn, and Portland. Competitive and fair pricing. Find out more at srscommodities.com. Grower owned, family operated, customer driven.
Need more efficiency in your harvest? Amity Technology has your solution. Amity's lineup of defoliators, harvesters, and carts keeps your equipment moving when time is critical. Find your field-proven solutions from Amity Technology by visiting your favorite dealer. They have the parts and service you need when you need it. Amity Technology and your Amity dealer. Find your solution. Join the Red River Farm Network at the Big Iron Farm Show. Our building is near the center of the grounds. Join us for forums and live broadcasts. The Big Iron Farm Show, September 9th, 10th, and 11th. The new Farm Service Agency Administrator, Bill Beam, is making his first stop in the region. Get the update from USDA Thursday morning at Big Iron at 10:30. The Red River Farm Network, forum sponsored in part by NDFB, Hefty Seed, North Dakota Corn Council, and the Minnesota Corn Growers Association. We'll see you at Big Iron.
Listen to the Dry Bean Scene every Friday here on the Red River Farm Network, brought to you by the North Harvest Bean Growers Association, Johnstown Bean Company, Gowan Company, SRS Commodities, and Heads Up Plant Protectants. We'll track this year's crop potential across the country and get industry perspectives on possible market impacts. It's the Dry Bean Scene every Friday, 12:35, right here on the Red River Farm Network.
Minneapolis wheat September, we are down 2.5 right now at 569. In Chicago, September, we're up 2 3/4 at 509.5. And September KC down a penny at 495 3/4. September corn is down 1.5, 387 3/4. D's corn is down 3, 409 1/4. September soybeans were down a half cent right now at 10.25. November's down a penny at 10.46 3/4. Looking at livestock, October live cattle up 27 cents, 237.10. The September feeders now up $1.57, 363.42. And the hogs, October up $1.12, 92.52. This is the Red River Farm Network.
Today on Hot Talk with the Ox, right away hear how the whole Trump executive order thing on flag burning and cashless bail and junk went on Monday, media fallout and analysis. Then all things state fair, attendance, highlights, and whatnot. At 4:06, hear what wine of the week Jeff has picked out on the Westside Liquor Wine Line. Then hear fellow Ox listeners' wines of the week. Gottwalt is in for the Ox, so he'll see you for Hot Talk with the Ox today from 2 to 5 on KBRF.
What's the Ox say?
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
Summer flies by, doesn't it? Between family outings, kids' activities, and soaking up every bit of sunshine, we're all on the go. But in the middle of the rush, don't forget to check in with yourself. Lakeland Mental Health Center reminds you your mental well-being matters too. If you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or down, reach out. Make the call to LMHC. Visit lmhc.org and connect with support that fits your needs. With services available in Alexandria, Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Moorhead, LMHC is here to help today for a better tomorrow.
Summer weather can change quickly, and that's why you can count on News Talk 1250 KBRF and the Fergus Now app for up-to-date weather coverage. We love hearing from you and want to see your severe weather photos, whether it's hail, storm damage, threatening clouds, whatever it might be. To submit your summer severe weather photos, go to kbrfradio.com, then to Weather Spotter page located on the Weather tab. Summer severe weather coverage on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
I'm Jessica at the Fergus Falls Monument Company. I'm the first person you see when you come through the door, and I also talk to customers every day on the phone. Many of them find choosing a memorial ahead of time is convenient and works best when there is time to plan and think about it. Planning ahead not only gets you the everlasting memorial of your choice, it also helps your family through the grieving process. At Fergus Falls Monument, we can help you plan ahead and choose a memorial made right here locally. Call or stop in or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. 9:37 and currently sitting in at 62 degrees. Another beautiful day. And some morning talk brought to you this morning and every morning by our friends at Pioneer Care and at Fergus Falls Monument.
Okay, before we lighten it up like we usually do in the second half of the show, there was just a couple more things that I wanted to get to today. One of those is President Trump signed an executive order. I heard Ox say he's going to be visiting about that. It's with regard to flag burning. And he signed an executive order that would say, hey, if you're flag burning, there's going to be a consequence for that. Mm-hmm. And even some Republicans are saying, well, wait a second, that's freedom of speech. So you can't do that. Freedom of speech is burning our American flag.
Yeah, they ruled that, what was that, the 90s, the Supreme Court ruled on that.
So that's what that's what we're supporting.
Yep.
Is it's okay to burn our flag. Where have we come? Oh my goodness. Anyway, that. Also, there was a story in the news, and you and I have talked about this many times, and that is AI and all this chat GPT and all of the things that AI is able to do and the bad things that are happening because of it. And again, Pandora's box has been opened. I don't think we can tap the brakes there.
So I'll wait for Skynet.
But, there was a 16-year-old boy who died of suicide, and his parents are suing ChatGPT because he was actually doing homework, and he was using ChatGPT.
Well, it's kind of cheating.
Well, research, I don't know if it's really cheating. You can ask questions about certain things and find out the information. The mom and dad knew that he was using it for his homework and doing research and all this sort of thing. Well, anyway, somehow that he went down the rabbit hole and it went wrong. He started asking ChatGPT about kind of sort of venting, saying, I've actually considered suicide. And ChatGPT, and they've got it, because you can read the conversation between ChatGPT, the bot actually, and this young man. And eventually it told him, gave him ways to loop a rope that he could put around his neck and hang himself. It told him, we don't blame you, for feeling this way. He even asked, he said, I feel like I should reach out to my parents. And ChatGPT replied, I don't know if this is the best time to tell your mom and dad. And anyway, so basically this ChatGPT even helped him write his suicide letter.
Wow.
This young man is 16 years old, he's dead. And his parents they're suing, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, but it's a bot, and he's typing the stuff in. I'm not defending the ChatGPT. I'm just saying the parents need to pay a little bit more attention.
Yeah, well, that's probably very true, but boy, there is an instance where, wow,
it's
parents,
highly unfortunate.
Watch what your kids are doing.
Yes.
AI is helpful? Maybe. Can it do great things? Maybe. Is it dangerous? You bet.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons.
Yep.
So, you know what? Parenting just got harder.
Yeah.
With ChatGPT. Talk to your kids about that stuff. Watch what your kids are doing online. Give them some restraints on those smartphones. Boy, I just think to lose a kid to suicide, to have a robot in outer space talking him into killing himself, unbelievable to me. When he even said, I should talk to my parents about this. I don't know. How do you stop that kind of stuff? Are there no leashes on these bots?
There's not. They will only lead you to where you are leading them.
Okay. Well, anyway,
I've used
very
ChatGPT,
dangerous.
and
I have two, minimally, just to kind of see what kinds of things it could be helpful for. So far, I haven't found too many. I have not found it helpful.
I've used it for a couple things, but again, it goes by what is put into it, and it goes what you type into it. So, I mean, what did the kid actually type into ChatGPT to get those responses?
I don't know all those details, but certainly someone does, because it's all transcribable. You know, I mean, it's right there for you to.
And it's always there. All you have to do is log into that account, and you can see all of the things.
Anyway, just super, super sad. So let that be a lesson, and that's what these parents are saying too to other parents.
Yeah.
Boy, make sure you know what your kid is doing online. And have this conversation with them.
Yep.
Anyway, very, very scary. Okay, so tell me what you think about this. And not that I'm opposed to fundraising, and certainly not that I am opposed to giving to these fundraising efforts, because I want to. And, there are certain kids on high school teams and high school events and things like that I absolutely want to support. So not taking anything away from supporting kids and those kinds of things. However, it's gotten pretty lazy. Now you can send a link to everyone They can click on it. They can order product, whatever they're selling for their fundraising things, or they can just simply donate money to that particular student to help them reach their fundraising goal. Now, the student has to do nothing except email a link. Nobody comes to your house and says, hey, I'm Susie Johnson, and I'm on the swimming team, and we are in need of some, equipment for our pool, and we are selling blah. Would you like to support us? Now that, hey, I am all in. When a kid comes to my house and has or even if they come into your place of business, if you allow that, at least they're learning a lesson by coming to you, telling you who they are, what they're raising money for, answer your questions. Those are the kids you want to give the money to.
Yep.
This feels really lazy.
You say lazy, I say efficient.
Wow, I think it's super lazy. Sit back on your iPad while everyone gives you money.
You don't know that they're not also going out door to door.
Pretty sure it's all online. I don't know. That rubs me the wrong way, and it's not. I already gave, so I'm going to do that. I mean, it's the daughter of a good friend, and I absolutely want to support her. I would rather have her come to me and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Are you in? We've got this to sell. Or you could, if you just want to provide a monetary donation, that would be great too. Here's what our team kind of needs. And man, I'd be the first one. I would have written her a check for double the amount. But click here, pay here.
I think it's efficient.
Wow. Does it teach the kid anything?
Yeah,
Nothing.
how to
Nothing.
e-commerce.
Teaches them nothing. Teaches them to just sit back and watch their phone while the money rolls in. I think it stinks. I'm sorry. That is not fundraising to me. And again, not against the fundraising because they all need it and I'm happy to give. Just not like this.
Efficient.
Lazy. Yeah, you and I are not going to agree on this. In fact, it makes
I hated doing that as a kid.
Well, yeah, of course we did. But you know what? We all learned something from going to people's houses.
There's some creepy neighbors.
Well, we did. You have to admit, we learned something by having to tell people who we were, what we were raising money for, and would you be willing to support us? I think those are good things. That's a good lesson. I know that there's people out there shaking their heads in agreement with me. I just know it.
Okay. You and I are two different generations, so we see these things differently. Let's go to the tiebreaker.
Okay.
You know what's very interesting? Good morning.
Good morning.
It's very interesting is that for the most part, I'm actually siding with Mary for the points of like,
hallelujah.
In terms of like, those are good things to learn. Those are very good, important lessons.
I totally agree.
Here's where the problem lies in terms of where Dave's talking in terms of like efficiency versus it being laziness. As someone who within the last decade has gone around to do these sort of fundraising things, people don't want to answer the doors as much.
No.
They don't want to answer the doors.
Right.
The amount of no solicitor signs that get sold at retail stores.
Yeah, that's true.
It's become that's why you don't see as many door-to-door salespeople. But what you
how
do
about,
see,
could you text your friends? Could you reach out by phone?
What's different between a text and an email? Because they're gonna say like, hey, yeah, and then it's like, okay, here's the link.
Well, you could say, hey, do you have a time for a quick phone call?
Well,
maybe. And then actually talk to those people. And if you know them, it's not a cold call. It's not going door to door. Maybe today I'm asking too much for kids to go door to door. Do people love it? Maybe not. And is it always safe? Perhaps not. So maybe we rule that out. But it's just like, the parents who bring the sign-up sheet and say, hey, do you want to buy this, 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 and this? Okay, and sell all their kids' fundraising stuff for them.
Yeah, I will say we just had. I think it was this weekend. We just had someone from I assume either the boys football or soccer teams here in Fergus.
Oh, football cards should be coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, they're out.
They came up to our door, and so it's still happening. It's just these other fundraisers.
And you know what? You come to my
also,
door, I'm always gonna buy.
And oftentimes, I've got a nephew who I always get messages for these. I don't even remember what, like butter breads or something like that.
Buy 20 of them because it's the best thing you will ever eat.
But it's one of those things where it's like I believe they sell them in person, but also like send it so if you have family further away, they can also contribute.
Exactly.
You don't have to be close.
I don't need to fly out to Eugene to hit my mom's family.
So this was one I could order coffee, and I thought, well, that's something I can do.
That's something everybody can get behind.
But the thing is, how much then of that coffee that I'm buying actually goes to the kid? I'd rather just give a donation and know that I'm supporting that particular kid. I'm happy to do that. This just feels
efficient,
lazy.
It feels corporate. The email. I think that's where it is. It feels corporate, and in a way that feels lazy.
I think if it was my kid, I would say, hey, you know what? Here's 20 people in your contacts that would be great people to reach out to. Send them a quick text because that's what we most like. And say, hey, could I visit with you about a fundraising opportunity that I have with my school? And then maybe actually visit with them.
Then send them the link.
Well, yes, but at least you have taught the kids something.
And I think those kids get the most sales. At the end of the day,
absolutely right.
The kids that reach out and make it personal and like fit. Because if I get an email, I'm less likely to even mess with it at all. But if I get someone text me like, hey, I've got this fundraiser going on, I'm more likely to contribute to that. That's just better being a better salesperson.
I think so too. Okay, so here's another one. Tell me what you guys think about this. Got an email from someone close, and many of us who are close to this same couple all got the email about please support us on our mission trip. We are going on a mission trip, and I forget where they were going. It was like all over Europe. I'm going to be gone like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. Anyway, and we're like, wow.
Is that a mission trip or vacation?
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh gosh, so we're supposed to get you on this mission trip? And if it was through their church, I'm like, well, maybe you should have reached out to the people in your parish that probably could have helped you. Anyway, and I talked to some of the other people that got the same email, and we're like, wow, that was weird. Okay, so then fast forward a couple of weeks, and here on Facebook are all pictures of all these fabulous places they're going, and they're saying, and we're celebrating our 41st wedding anniversary. I'm like,
yep.
Oh, so that was a vacation that we were going to support. And I would have been mad had I supported it, but I just felt like that was not an appropriate ask in the first place. And then when we come to find out it's a 41st anniversary or a 40th or whatever year it was, an anniversary celebration trotting all over Europe, and we were supposed to contribute to that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
As soon as I heard a mission trip in Europe, I'm like, no. Mission trips go to South America,
I'm not saying that
Africa.
They didn't.
Colorado.
I'm not saying that they didn't do some mission work while they were gone. I'm not taking that away. It just felt like we were being asked to send them to Europe for a couple of weeks. I don't know. It was weird.
The waiter looked underprivileged, so I tipped him $5.
Which, if you want to ask for help funding a trip like that, in this economy, I understand not being able to afford that. And if you want to do it, yeah, do that. But do it above board. Don't hide it underneath a mission trip.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
I'm starting to take donations for a mission trip back to Jamaica. Couples to Grill needs to be.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Yeah. Well, Derek, thank you for being on my side. Even you are the youngest one in the building, and I'm one of the oldest, and it's kind of nice when you and I come together.
Yeah, no, always happy to be on.
Okay, thanks, Derek. Yeah, he gives us such good perspective. You know, I'm so glad he's in there tuned in, so we can pull him on whenever we need him. Okay, just enough time for a feel-good story. In a heartwarming display of kindness caught on camera, there was a postal worker in Australia was spotted taking a brief moment to pull down the customer's laundry and move it out of the rain. Isn't that good? I love it. Anyway, so the woman returns home. She's thinking, shoot, all my clean laundry now ruined by the rain. But she found her previously rain-exposed laundry neatly placed on a bench by her front door out of the rain. I think that's nice. Hopefully there weren't bras and underwear hanging out.
I was going to say, hopefully there weren't any missing panties. That'd be like, whoa.
Oh, we just tore down a great story. Anyway, all right. Well, I think that's going to wrap things up. Oh, lazy.
Efficient.
Lazy.
Efficient.
I love it when you disagree with me. Okay, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us on the show today. It's brought to us today and every day by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Monument Company. Have a great day. Lazy.